Hi Flosstube, I'm Chelsea and this is my channel Sound Mind Stitching. I talk about cross stitch, some embroidery, and every once in a while a sewing project that I have worked on. I'm new to sewing, but I'm enjoying trying different things. So every once in a while. Today there's no sewing. But I do have some free charts that I want to share with you today, not mine, but from other designers. I am very frugal and have a very limited stitching budget, and so whenever I find a free chart somewhere online, it doesn't have to be one that I think that I will definitely stitch, but often it's one that I can see myself stitching for the most part. But when I started thinking about sharing them on my Flosstube, I decided I would even share some that maybe I wouldn't stitch, but I still think are, really well done charts, or they're by designers that you've heard of, that others might enjoy. And so I think I'm going to start sharing maybe 3 to 5 charts each video, so that you can enjoy some freebies. So I will do that at the end. I don't have a ton of stuff to share. It's only been about 2 weeks since my last video, but I kind of want to get in a cycle of doing one video a month. And so this will kind of be a February wrap up, looking ahead to March, kind of establishing that pattern. So, but I do have some things to show you. And the first thing I want to say is I need someone to do an intervention for me on gifting cross-stitch projects to other people because I spent the last week of my life so stressed out trying to finish something that I planned to make for someone, and I did finish it, and I fully finished it today, and I will show it to you, but it caused me so much stress and it took most of the enjoyment out of cross-stitching for me, which is not the goal. I enjoy making gifts for other people. My mom growing up used to drill into me and my sisters, it's the thought that counts. So if you try to do something for someone and it doesn't go well, rest assured that, it was the thought that counted. And if someone gifts you something and you don't love it, or the outcome wasn't what you expected, it was the thought that counts. You can still be grateful, but I don't want the people that I gift things to have to say, well, it was the thought that counted. Like this, I don't love this. It's not my style. I won't use it. I don't have anywhere to put this. I don't want to do that. So I don't do a lot of gifts, but last year I did do a lot of gifts. I did various embroidery ornaments for a baby shower, for some friends' birthdays. I made a whole set from Hands On Design for my mom for Christmas. I did all of Country Cottage Needleworks Nutcracker Village charts for my daughter, and just barely finished that in time for Christmas. And so I told my friend Sarah, after I finished Nutcracker, I was like, I'm only gonna work on one gift at a time. I'm not gonna have all these various things for other people with deadlines attached for either birthdays or Christmas. I'm only gonna do one thing at a time. Okay, so that's where I was at coming into this year. Well, I don't know if I have shared since I've kind of come back to Flosstube, but our youngest son, Noah, is going to be 3 in a week, and he is in speech therapy for a pretty significant expressive speech disorder. In fact, you might hear him during this video because he's in the next room, like talking himself to sleep. But anyway, he's been in speech since last May. And his therapist is named Miss Pam, and because of early intervention in our state, which is in every state as far as I know, if they're under 3, they will come to your home. So Miss Pam has come to our house pretty much every week since last May and done therapy with Noah, and just been an incredible support to me. The disorder that Noah has is not common, and it's very easy for people who I talk to about it to not oversimplify it, because I don't want to make it seem like this super weird thing, but people make so many comments to me about, well, one day he'll start talking. And I do believe that and pray for that, but he still really needs therapy. In order to talk more, he needs therapy. It's not the kind of thing that's going to work itself out. And so Pam has just been just wonderful. I'll text her whenever he says new words, and she rejoices with me about all of his progress. So all that to say, his birthday's next week. He's turning 3, and so this coming week is her last session with Noah, and I wanted to do something for her. So I'm going to show you the first thing I tried. Okay, so what I did first is I thought, I want to give her something she can use. So when she comes, she has this canvas bag with all of her like puzzles and books and manipulatives, all the things that she pulls out to kind of catch his interest and encourage speech. And I've never looked closely, but it just appears to be a bag from like a conference or something. It doesn't look particularly meaningful. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna show you the back. I thought, okay, I went to Hobby Lobby and I got this giant canvas bag. This is probably even bigger than the one she brings. And I kind of looked around and I thought, okay, I can use like waste canvas or soluble canvas to stitch something on the bag, and then, you know, give her that. Like, oh my gosh, what a great idea, Chelsea. What a great idea. Well, it was a great idea on paper. It was the thought that counted. But first I got waste canvas from Hobby Lobby, which was like 10 count. And I was having to use like 6 strands of thread to make it look good. That wasn't working. So I pulled that out. I was making another order from 123 Stitch. So I ordered some soluble canvas, which dissolves in water. And it was 14 count. So I thought, okay, I'm familiar with 14 count. This will be better. And then I designed a pattern for her. So I don't have a picture of it, but anyway, here is as far as I got on the bag. So you'll see the finish, the actual thing I did, and it'll make more sense. But oh, there's still a needle on there. Okay. A border, Miss Pam, and then some little people, her and Noah, or a representation. This was so slow going. So slow going. First of all, it's thick. The canvas is thick. And, if I'm holding it and trying to get the needle through, I'm having to reach my arm in. The sewing method was not going to work. I couldn't put it in a hoop. That would not help. I thought about like ripping out the seams so it would be more open, but then I thought, what if I can't get them back? Like, what if it's not gonna hold stuff? Anyway, and added to that, like the waste canvas on the canvas bag, the holes were almost impossible to see. Like I was having to only stitch in super bright light, so I could only work on it when I was up in my room at my desk. And I think last Saturday, I was like, okay, at this rate, I'm never gonna finish this. I had a week and a half. I'm not gonna finish it. So I looked through my stash, which is not big, but I looked and found, actually it wasn't even in my stash. It was in another kitted chart that I was gonna do later this spring. Some 32 count linen I got from Hobby Lobby. It was gonna be big enough. So I spent the last week, I started from the beginning on that linen and made the pattern, or stitched the pattern again. So this is what I have. It is 32 count ice Murano car from Hobby Lobby, and for the first time ever I made a flat fold. It is not perfect. I wish this was more even, but it is what it is. I'm glad I got it done. I followed the tutorial on Fat Quarter Shop. Kimberly has a great tutorial about how to do a flat fold. I found it really easy to follow. And I had gotten this fabric the other day at Hobby Lobby. It's just kind of some gray paisley. And actually when I bought it yesterday, I was still thinking I might make this into a pillow. So I bought a yard of it and I did not use hardly any. So I have a lot of this fabric left. So who knows what that could be. But yeah, I designed this in wind stitch. So the border is DMC 4030, which I had thought I would do a whole big piece in just that color, like a monochromatic. And I had like 7 skeins of it, so at least I used up part of maybe one. But yeah, and then I tried to make it kind of look like her. Her old bag was green, so there's her green bag. This is meant to be Noah. His favorite color is yellow, and for the longest time, he would say yellow for every color. He knew his colors, but he could say yellow, and he liked saying it, so he called everything yellow. So, and you're gonna listen to our dog barking, so sorry about that. He's outside, and I'm upstairs, so hopefully someone will let him in. But he is a blue tick coonhound. They are hunting dogs. Oh good, someone let him in. We got him as a rescue. We've never hunted with him, but he still thinks he's a hunting dog, so he likes to bark as if he's found a raccoon. As I was sharing that, I realized I got my hair cut, so I hope I don't look too different. It was time for a change. It's hot here in Georgia. We're in the 80s now, on March 4th. So anyway, that was my first finish, or first FFO of 2023 was this. And so I stitched on this, I want to say, let's see, I think I'm looking at where I'm tracking. I have here that I stitched on it 8 days, but some of those might have included stitching on the bag. In fact, I'm quite sure that it was, because my parents were here last week, and I'm pretty sure that I know that I was stitching on the bag because I showed it to my mom and was like, hey, look, I am making this bag for her. And anyway, so I think 5 days. It took me 5 days. It's not super big, but there were some color changes in the people down there. So anyway, I'm happy with it. I'm sad to give it to her because we'll miss her, but I hope that she enjoys it and can find a place in her home. I hope that she doesn't just think it was the thought that counted. I hope that it is a reminder of the difference that she has made in our life. When Noah started speech a year ago at this time, right before his birthday, he was only saying one word. He was saying mama, and that was it. And most 2-year-olds are saying, at least 100 words, and he only would say mama, and he had some signs. And now he probably has 60 or 75 words. Now, not everyone can understand them, but I can, and most of his siblings can. So anyway, I hope that this is a good token of thanks for her. My other finish, not FFO, which I was working on, was trying to finish it by the end of March, which I did. I finished it on, let me look again, I finished it on February 28th. So I finished the Fox by Cottage Garden Samplings. I'm stitching all 3 of the winter ones on one piece. I just kind of folded it back so I could show you better. But I finished the reindeer in December, and then I finished the Fox. I did it in January and February. I didn't start tracking what I stitched on certain days until about halfway through February, but I stitched on this every day from February 11th to February 28th. So pretty monogamous. I didn't work on much else. So I don't really have any other whips because these are all I've been working on. But hopefully at the end of March, I will have more things to show you, because now I'm not frantically trying to finish that thing for Miss Pam. So yeah, that's what I have to show in terms of my stitching. My plans, I had initially planned to go ahead and start working on the swans. Oh, I didn't even talk about any of this. I'm sorry. I just assumed that you knew what this was. This is the Fox by Cottage Garden Samplings. It's part of the Year in the Woods, the 12 different charts. I hope to do all of them by season, so do 3 across and then frame them separately and maybe switch them out. This is 32 Count Dusk by Fiber on a Whim. I stitched it 2/2 with all the called for, which is mostly DMC, but each animal calls for a couple of gentle arts in some weeks, depending on it. It's a mix. So I did all the called for, although the white on both of these is chalk by Gentle Arts, and I am almost out. I think when I ordered it, I wasn't realizing that I would need it for the swans. So I do not have enough because the swans have a lot of white, and so I am just going to use 3865 for the swans. I put it up next to it, and you cannot tell. It's not variegated, really. The chalk is not, so I don't think I'd want to do it in on the same animal to switch it to use both, but because it's going to be on the separate chart, I'm just going to use that and not get any more chalk. But I love these patterns because they're very simple in the sense of it's just cross stitch. There's no back stitching, there's no French knots. The patterns are kind of intricate, like there's a lot of counting involved on the tail and over here, but they're just so beautiful, and I didn't mind the counting. And also I love this fabric, so it was always a joy. So I think I'm gonna take a break from the swans. And I'm not sure. I want to finish it by the end of the year, but I'm gonna put it away for now. So I have 3 other whips. One is my pandemic sampler. One is Space Robot by Awesome Pattern Studios. And then because I keep doing this, I have a wedding sampler I'm making for my cousin, but it's very small. I don't think it will take long, and she's not getting married until June. So I think if I just pace myself and work on it a little bit this month, a little bit next month, I think I'll be fine. So I'll check back in at the end of the month and we'll see where I'm at, but I'm hoping I'm not gonna have to be frantically finishing it right before her wedding. March is my favorite month. It's my birthday month. It is my mom's birthday month. It is Noah's birthday month. It's spring. I just love March. So I am going to do, I think, 2 new starts this month. Last year I started Northern Land by Al Forest Embroidery, and I shared a few videos ago. I kept changing my mind about the floss, and I just couldn't decide, and so I would start and stop, and I restarted. Now I'm settled on the floss. I have new fabric. That's gonna be my start this year for my birthday, which is March 18th. Noah's birthday is March 11th, and I'm gonna do a temperature chart by Snarky and Modern Embroidery, and I'll link all this, so don't worry. And I'll show you, well, it's free if you join the Facebook group, but I still don't know if I want to show you, if I should show you that. But basically what you do is you join the Facebook group, and then it's free in the files. So I have my fabric. It is Icelandic Gray 32 count by Witchelt. And I think I might have already showed you this, but I've picked out all my colors. I basically have 24 colors. And they'll go from red is the warmest. Basically they'll go like that. Down, oh, whoops, nope, that's not right. Like that. So purple is the coldest. And our temperatures range from about 100 down, really it very rarely gets below freezing. So this dark purple will be for anything under 30 degrees because it does not happen that often. So I'm not gonna have different colors for like 20 versus 25 because it just rarely happens. I'm gonna do it for the year 2020, which is the year that we moved to Georgia. We moved here on March 21st and of 2020. And again, Noah was born on March 11th. So yes, we did move here with a 10-day-old. So what I'll do is I'll do the temperature from where we used to live in South Carolina through March 20th. And then on March 21st, I'll start doing the temperatures from where we live now. So his birthday is a week from when I'm filming this, in 7 days. So I've already got January printed out. So what I did is I have the dates. This is all from South Carolina. I have the maximum and the minimum because I'm going to do both. And then the color that I have to do for each of those. And then this maybe took me 10 minutes to do today. So once I finish January, then I'll do February and so on. But I don't want to start that till his birthday. So I have a whole week to work on whatever I want because I'm not frantically trying to finish a present for someone. I gotta stop. I gotta stop it. And so I'll still keep working on my other whips. I'm not gonna start anything new. I'll either be working on the wedding thing for my cousin, the Star Wars piece from Awesome Pattern Studios, or my pandemic sampler, or maybe all of them. We'll see. So that's my plan for the rest of this month. Now I want to share the 5 free charts that I think you might enjoy. I tried to choose some that are kind of seasonally themed. So the first one is from Forest Embroidery, who is just one of my favorite designers. I haven't done a lot of their pieces, but I just love their designs so much. I would stitch all of them if I could. But they have a free chart called Easter Baskets, which I did use last year to make a gift for a friend. The picture shows a wreath, and basically you can make little eggs out of the baskets. I just did 6 of them on one piece. But I just think that this is a really simple but beautiful pattern. And it goes well with this time of year. So I'm going to link all of these below to where you can find them. Jardin Privé has a tree for each season. So my second free chart, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm pretty sure the name is in English is probably Tree of Spring. Here's a picture, and yeah. The link will just be to the page of free patterns. There's not a link to the specific chart. You just go to the page and then look for the picture. So you can also see all the other free charts there. Another one that I just heard about recently, which this is one that like I don't think I'll ever do. I'm not a big Easter chick bunny egg stitcher. It's just not my style. But it's Cherry Hill Stitchery Happy Easter. And of all the Easter designs I've seen, this one is like, I'm willing to say, okay, that's pretty cute. I just don't think I'm gonna do it. But I know a lot of other people enjoy stitching these kinds of things. So that is a third free chart. Another designer that I learned about through La D Stitches is Stitches Through the Years. The link will be to a link tree for this designer, and then there's a link to the freebies, but I can't link to the freebies page itself. So click on the link and then click on freebies, but there's a chart called Indigo Tulip. So it's just a floral design, and it's just really beautiful. So that's another free one that will be good for spring. And number 5 is from Lila's Studio. She also has a page with her free designs. There's a few on there. And this one is called For Thee, which she envisions you stitching for a friend and including your initials. This is another one, I don't know, I might do this one day, but I just thought the design was pretty, and I think that it would be a fun little small to do if you were so inclined. So those are my 5 free charts for this week. This month, this video, I looked at all my charts, and I really think that I have enough to do probably 5 every month, especially if I keep my eyes open for more of them. If you know of any other places that you have found free charts that are like really well done, let me know, and I'd love to share them with others, because I do buy charts, I do pay for charts. I'm not trying to cheat anyone out of their hard work, but so many designers are just so generous with free patterns, and so you know, I imagine that one of the reasons they do it is if you enjoy one of their free patterns, you know, you might be inclined to purchase a different chart from them. So if you haven't heard of these designers, definitely check them out, because I have their other charts by them on my wish list. I have an Forest Embroidery, that's that Northern Land chart for my birthday, that's them, and I have another one of their charts to start in April. So I just love them. But yeah, that's all I have for today. I know this is not a huge stitching video, but again, I just kind of wanted to put a little flag in the stand for catching up on February, and then at the end of March I'll have, you know, a lot more to share, because I've got what, 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks now to work on various things with not so much of a deadline. So I hope at the end of March to be able to show some progress on my temperature chart, to show you the beginning of Northern Land, and maybe some progress on the wedding sampler, hopefully. I kind of don't want to work on that right now. It's the same fabric as the gift I made for Noah's therapist, and I just don't love it. I just don't love the way it feels, so I need a break from that. So my guess is this week I'll be working on that Star Wars piece or the pandemic sampler, but you'll have to come back next time to see. So thanks for watching. I'd love to hear any thoughts you have, or questions, or again, any free charts you know of that I could add to my spreadsheet that I'm keeping. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great week, and happy stitching.